episode of the PMD Tea Buyers Club. I'm your host, Anjay Silva, and today it's episode 30. We've finally got to 30, and again, I'm back in my kitchen. It's been some time actually since we've been here. The last few episodes we've been out in the other rooms and things, but yeah, finally episode 30, and because we're at the end of the 20s and going into the 30s, I thought we'd do something a bit different. We're back with my good friends, the Cheeses. Some of you guys might remember this from some of the previous episodes that we shot. We did a cheese and tea pairing. Today's a little different, guys. Today, no cheese at all, nothing on the board. There's no stouts out, if any of you guys saw episode 10 stout tasting. Today we're going to be doing a cheese and jelly pairing. Now, the story behind this whole thing was that I was on Twitter one day and I got talking to a lovely gentleman called David Mason, who runs Global Harvest Direct, which produced these wonderful products here, and he was nice enough to send these to me. And if you guys want to try out his products, I highly recommend that you guys do so. It's linked up at the bottom. It's called Global Harvest Direct, and they create wonderful wonderful jellies, and they also do some sea salt and a whole host of other products. And one thing that these jellies are absolutely ideal for is cheese, and obviously I've got a massive love for cheese. You've seen it on the previous episodes. So why not do a cheese and jelly pairing? So I've got 4 jellies here, and in fact, let me give you the backstory of their company. And at the back of it says, the Membrillo started life as a way of making use of fallen orchard fruits. Grandma would cook and preserve them, creating a fruit cheese or a Membrillo. We've taken the original process and use a wide variety of other fruits. The English handmade Membrillo fruit for cheese is born. Now, over here we've got a quince, I've got an apple, a fig, and a damn good damson plum, and I'm hoping it's going to taste damn good. So let's get into it. What are the cheeses that I've got? Well, I've got the big black bomber that you guys probably remember from the cheddar tasting from Snowdonia. I've got an Oxford blue cheddar as well, which tastes quite salty. I don't think we had that on the previous episode. From the soft cheeses, I've gone for the St. Omer, the goat's cheese. No Stinky Bishop today, but this bad boy is one of my personal favorites. And then also on the recommendations, I have gone for a goat's cheddar, just to kind of change things up a bit, because everyone usually tends to have cow's cheddar, so why not throw in a goat's cheddar? So let's get straight into it, guys. I'm going to start off with the goat's cheddar. Very thick. It doesn't have a big note on the mouth. No salt. Slight salt touch right at the back of your mouth. But I'm going to try it out first of all with the quince actually. Let's give the quince a go. Very fruity, very clean taste actually. Let's try that again. Bit of cheese, bit of quince. That actually goes very well. The citrusy note in the quince comes out and it balances against the thick creamy note in this cheese. There's no teas today. Because this is a cheddar, it's quite thick. You need something almost like a very thick bodied tea just to break it in and break up that creaminess. Let's try the cheddar this time with the apple. The apple is a lot stronger. Immediately you get a very big mulled apple taste coming right at the back, and then you're getting the spice as well from this mulled apple spice. Big spicy note right at the back of your palate, and you get the apple taste right at the tip. That doesn't go as well with that cheddar. Apple and goat's cheddar, not so well. Let's try the goat's cheddar again with the Figgy-licious fig. I love doing these cheese and food pairings. I was going to say tea for a second. Again, not so much of a good pairing. The fig is lovely though, on the other side of it, minus the cheese. The fig is absolutely delicious. You get little bits of actual fig that are left in the jelly that just pop in your mouth. It's almost like when you have Rice Krispies or like popping candy lollies. Anyone ever had any popping candy? You put it in your mouth and it just kicks off. That's what the fig tastes like here when you bite into one of them. That is very nice. All these products, guys, have actually all won Gold Taste Awards. The fig won 2 gold stars in 2011. The quince has won 1 gold star in 2012. Most recently, Apple Mull Spice has won 3 gold stars. It's not surprising. I think that out of the 3 of them so far, that's been my favourite. Let's try the Damn Good Damson. Let's try this one out. Damson fruit with goat's cheddar. That is a winning combination. That is by far, actually, scrap that, the damson is by far my favourite. No wonder it's called Damn Good Damson. That is a killer. That is an absolute killer of a one. So out of the goat's cheddars, guys, I would go for either the damson plum or the mulled apple spice. Let's try it out this time with a soft goat's cheese, see how that changes. Now, if you guys remember from the other episode, this is why I love this soft goat's cheese. Nice and gooey. I've left this out of the fridge for about half an hour. Nice and gooey. A little sea salt smell coming out. Very thick. I've missed this bad boy. Very, very salty. Very salty. I'm going to go with the quince actually. Let's try this one out and see how this tastes. That works very well. The quince just breaks through that saltiness, but I want to try it out actually again. This time with the Damn Good Damson. I think the damson might actually enhance this cheese a lot more because it went well with the cheddar, but this soft cheese has a lot more flavour to it. It carries a lot more salty and a lot more bitter taste profile to it, and I think the damson works exceptionally well. It just mellows out the salty flavour in the cheese and just mellows it down a bit. Some people might find this cheese a little too salty or a little too harsh on the mouth. I personally like it. Those are the kind of flavours that I tend to like. But if you do find this too strong on the palate, possibly with the damson plum, I think that would go very well. Let's give it a go with the mulled apple spice now. As you can see, I just love tasting this, and I've already taken a third off it. I actually scrapped that. St. Omer, mulled spice apple, killer, absolute killer. And just to be fair, let's give it a go with the fig as well. And guys, outside of this, to be fair, that actually goes really well with the fig. I would say it goes well with all of them, but if I had to pick 2, I would go with either the fig or the apple, or at least these 3. These 3 work much, much better with this flavour. This has much more of a sweeter kick to it. This you're getting the mulled spice that mellows it out, and I think the damson gets rid of the standalone salty flavour that you get in this cheese. Outside of cheese, guys, you can have all of these jellies with other things. So for example, the damson, it also says goes well with, what does it say goes well? It says damn good with beef and game. The fig with duck and terns. The apple spice goes well with turkey and game. Let's try out this blue cheese. Here's the Oxford blue. Very bitter taste to it. Very bitter, very salty in the mid palate. Very thick and very creamy as well. I think this would go really well with this fig actually. Now I'm getting to understand the taste profile of these products. Figgy-licious fig. And that blue. Amazing flavour. Amazing, amazing flavour. One thing that struck me about these products is that they balance so well with the cheese. Very different to how when we did the cheese and tea pairings. That was more a compliment. That was more kind of a fight in the mouth. Either you had to enhance the cheese or you had to enhance the tea. And when you were doing the cheddars and the teas, you really got much more of a flavour coming out of the tea because the cheddar would almost add that creamy effect. Whereas with this, it's much more of a compliment. It's almost like a good dancing partner, you know? It's not like when you're dancing with your gran where you're just bringing, where you're bringing her game up or your game down. This is more like, you know, dancing with a good dancing partner. Again, I'm having a lot of fun today actually. Mulled spice and the Oxford Blue go very well. Let's try it with the quince. I wonder what the quince will have a flavour like. Because it is very citrusy. Getting it all over me as well. The quince not so much. It seems to be a citrusy note. Almost creates a bitter flavour and makes it quite unpleasant actually. For me personally, I don't think the quince and that blue go too well. Let's try it with this damson. Yeah, very, very well with the damson. Very well with the damson. Very well with the fig. Not so well with the quince. But let's give the final one a go. The final one is the Black Bomber from Snowdonia. Again guys, I'm going to link up all the cheeses at the bottom as well for you. Black Bomber, very thick, very creamy. You need something like, I wonder what's actually going to go with this. I'm going to start off with the mulled apple spice. Let's try that. The Black Bomber is just so thick, it just sticks to your palate and everywhere around it. That the mulled apple spice does have a good flavour, but I do feel that the cheddar is very, very thick and you're not getting as much of the flavour coming through. It almost smothers the apple and the spicy flavour. Goes exceptionally well with the damson though. Damson is a lot stronger, you get that fruity flavour coming out in your mouth. Massive fruit flavour coming out in your mouth from the damson. And it's not surprising because this damson goes very well with beef, and beef is quite a, you know, it's quite a thick meat game as well. If you think of something like venison, strong flavours coming out, and with the damson and the cheddar, they work very well. Let's give it a go with the actual fig itself. Very well with the fig. Probably goes best with the fig actually. Probably goes best with the fig, then with the damson, not so much with the mulled apple spice. And just for old time's sake, let's go with the quince and see how that works. Very well with the quince. In fact, the fruits where you've got a big citrus note coming through, like the damson, like the quince, a very strong, thick cheddar like this. This is a very, very strong cheddar. Very thick, very creamy. You need something almost like a lover's leaf tea with that mint and eucalyptus to just cut through cut through a very strong flavour and be able to give you another note, and that's exactly what these two jellies do. Very nice. I think my all-time favourite though has to be St. Omer. It's not surprising. With the apple mull spice. That probably is my favourite out of all the ones that I've tasted today. That and that is my all-time favourite. Let's rank them up, guys. To be honest, I'm not going to rank the cheeses because you guys have seen me do that before. But out of these ones, I'm really stuck. All of them are great products. There is not one that I do not like here. They're all great products. It's obvious by the fact that they've all won great taste awards as well. But if I'm to rank them up, I would have to go this way. If I was to rank them up, I'd have to go with the damson first. I think it's the most versatile out of all of them, and I love the flavour in it. Then I have to go for the fig next, because, in fact, I'm actually going to have to go this way, the way I've laid it out, and that wasn't planned. Damson, fig. I love the little pops that you get from the actual fig pieces inside this jelly. Then the apple, and then the quince at the end, which I kind of don't feel is being fair to the quince, because the quince is nice, but when you're up against these, well, when the board is stacked like this, there's no shame in coming in fourth. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really want to thank Global Harvest Direct. I highly recommend you guys get onto their website and check out their products. And the next time you guys do a cheese board, or even have a dry meat board or anything, get some of their products out. I'm certainly going to try out some of their sea salts and some of their nut oils as well. I'm very impressed. I want to thank David for actually sending these out to us, and I hope the teas arrive for you guys as well, and I hope you enjoy them. Guys, as ever, hit subscribe and also follow me. Talk to me on Twitter, like exactly how David did. Talk to me, and you never know what might come out of it. Hopefully you guys will learn something about tea, and hopefully I'll get to learn more about what is it that you guys do in your businesses and what you guys do day to day. As ever, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. I don't know how the hell we're going to get next week's episodes out, because I fly to Sri Lanka on Monday and I'm there for the next month. And in terms of, although I'll be shooting a lot of footage with the guys, I don't know how the hell we're going to upload it, because internet connections in Sri Lanka are like this. So stay tuned, let's see what happens. As ever, stay up to date via Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at PMDT. Follow us. I want to see what you guys are taking pictures of, and I want to chat to you guys. Next week, or in the next few days, the biggie starts, the real biggie. I'm really excited. The Cricket World Cup kicks off. I don't know if Sri Lanka are going to win this. In fact, I don't know, man. I really think. Here's my predictions. This is your question of the day. Who do you think is going to win the Cricket World Cup? I think it's going to be New Zealand. I think it's going to be New Zealand's to lose. I think Brendan McCullum and his boys are going to win this World Cup, and I think it's theirs to lose. And I think the final is going to be Australia-New Zealand, and if it is Australia-New Zealand, I hope New Zealand win. For Sri Lanka to win, because at the end of the day, that's what I really want to win. I want Sri Lanka to win, I want Sangakkara, and I want Mahela Jayawardene to leave on a high. For us to win, Lasith Malinga has to bowl out of the park and take like 6 wickets a game, and then the other bowlers have got to step their game up and stop leaking runs and start taking wickets. So there's no time for excuses. It's the World Cup. You've got to execute and offer no excuses. Guys, thank you for watching. Happy sipping, or happy eating.